Watch out.
There's a putty tat and a kitty cat. There's two. This sucker is cat powered, man. Hey, welcome back to the good old Southern IA. We are not in a cornfield anymore. Hey guys. Hey buddies. That's George. Because he's super curious. So I called him George. I'm pretty original with my names. Today, we're choring. I ain't started this with hey. That's exactly what we're gonna do today. Oh man, it's just flowing off the tongue today. First order of business, we got a lot of hungry mouths to feed. Like I said, curious. All right, we're feeding this many buckets. I think I actually carried an extra one down here. These guys are getting roughly 9 pounds a piece right now. So pitter patter, let's get at her. Big boy. Hey buddies. This is the cattle water or the dog water. So these guys, the small ones from these guys, they get a little extra feed. They don't get pushed around as much, so hopefully they grow better. We got them separated in here. So that's why that is. This is my lovely assistant, Rebecca, my wife. So I pinned the calves in this front lot this morning because we're gonna probably bed them and put some hay in the rings. It's easier if they're not in the way. So I talked to these guys like just like a normal cattleman does, I think. So like I said, this is George. There's Queenie with the red ear tag. There's Blackie with his back into us. Hopefully you can figure out which one Blackie is. Then over there's Red, because he's all red with just a little bit of white. And then we have Big Boy. He's out here number 5, the biggest one. The biggest and the most friendliest one. He also likes to get in my way. But that's all right. I prefer that over wild. Black ones, I put a Black Angus bull with our Hereford cows. And we had 4 out of him. The red one is Angus, but he came out red like his mom for whatever reason. So experimenting with that, probably do some more of that this year. So yeah, that's pretty much it for taking care of these guys for now. Feed them, check their water, check the hay and the bedding situation, and now we're gonna move on to that. This here's our skid loader, and by the way, these cattle and this equipment and stuff is not mine. This is the other farm I work on. Call it my nights and weekends job and winter. But we're gonna use this skid loader, do some bedding, put some hay in the rings. So my trusty assistant is going to cut this nut wrap. And this is a second cutting big grass bale. And you know, we were dry this summer. And these bales have tended, when you cut the nut wrap, tend to go poof. Of course, this one didn't. It's important to know your wind direction. Sometimes you just can't help it. Ready for jailbreak? Come on. Come on. Hey, big boy. Just like a bunch of teenagers. How's it going? There's red. Now I have about 3 different machines I can use to feed the cows. You'll see the truck here in a little bit. Tractor's in the barn. When it's muddy, you can't use the truck, we'll use the tractor. I could do what I'm about to do with the pickup, but I got the skid loader out. Got it started, it's warmed up. So I'm gonna use it, because it's easier to put it in the rings with the skid loader. Anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. Say hello, buddy. All right, we're gonna give the cows some more bales later, but for now, we got that taken care of. So it's time to feed the bulls. We got our bulls pinned up in this here pen, so we can control when we have calves, and we don't want calves like in the middle of dead winter. So that's how we control that, or attempt to control it. Good? How you doing? So this little guy here, he's the same age as the ones over in the lot, but we want to keep him for a bull replacement. So we got Spot right there due to a spot on his face. We have a black bull. We have number 2 bull. That's his tag number. And we have another black bull. So that's our bull herd. I keep that feed bolt right along the fence so I don't have to get in there every day, because out of all the critters on the farm, the bulls are the most dangerous, in my opinion, at least. Well, a mad mama cow can be bad too, but a bull you just can't trust. So instead of climbing in there every day, I just dump it over the fence. Check. What you've been using to feed hay and bedding and stuff is a 257 A model cat. It's one of the first cat track loaders they developed, I believe. Anyway, it's an A model. Doesn't say A on it, but it is. So that's a nice outfit. Downside to it is when it's frozen and tracks, it's pretty rough. But I wouldn't trade it for a wheel loader. This, the 2014 Ford Power Stroke, I mean, with a Do Easy bale bed on it. 6.7 liter. Blip, blip, blip. With a 676 Do Easy bale bed. I'm not a Ford fan, but I'm a fan of this Ford. How's that? Oh yeah, that's why I'm a fan. Honestly, I'm a fan of all diesel trucks. I love them all, even the Ford. Nice feature of this bed, this remote, I can get out and run the arms while I'm out here instead of being stuck in the truck. So that's nice. We got 2 bales grabbed. We're ready to go down the road. We're gonna unroll this bale, and it's fairly important to get the bale stabbed in the middle so it unrolls. So, this is a good time to talk about hay. This is good old regular grass hay. To be honest, our cows love this just about the best. Out of everything we feed them, we've got grass hay, clover hay, and that's mainly what we feed on this farm. But you get alfalfa and stuff guys feed. We get along good with the mostly clover and Timothy hay, and some grass, straight grass. But yeah, they really like it. That's the first weed I've found in it today. Most of this is good grass. See these wild cows? You saw me earlier putting bales into a bale ring. And then you see me unrolling hay out here. It's because I believe there's advantages to both. The advantage to unrolling it out here is it gets spread out, all the cows can get to it. I usually would drop the bale and just go until it's completely unrolled, but I wanted to strategically place this manure out here in this part of the field, so I did it back and forth a few times. And that's the other advantage is, you look at this, I unrolled out here earlier in the week, and there's cow pies spread everywhere. Advantage to unrolling it, another advantage is spreading your manure out, spreading the nutrients out on the ground. What little hay they don't eat will deteriorate, go back in the soil, good organic matter. Benefit to doing it at the ring, the biggest one I see, is they clean it up better. Like, they don't waste hardly anything at the ring. And so there's different reasons. These cows are eating about 2 bales a day. So I typically put 2 in the ring and unroll 2 every other day. So it works for us. There's lots of different ways to do it. You can get bale processors, you can do silage, ground hay, but this works for us. Those little guys are 2 of our fall calvers. Most of our calves are springing in the lot that I fed earlier, you saw. But we got a few fallers, and that's some of them. Hi, baby girl. Hi. Those critters we were taking care of earlier in this video weren't mine, personally. With the exception of one of the black ones. I'm going to keep it for a heifer. But this girl is mine. She was a bottle calf. We lost her mama at birth, and so I got to keep this little girl, and she's bred and should be having a calf in April. Her name is Lady. She's quite the lady. She's a little lady. Later in life she can be a big lady, and she could be an old lady. We might just have to stick with Lady. Don't want to offend her at all. She's my pet. She's just laying there in her shed, out of the wind, in the sun, enjoying life. We had her a buddy earlier. She's had a buddy in here with her for quite some time, but that one went to the processing plant, and it's a circle of life. I'll be honest, it was hard for me to take Blindy to the butcher shop, but that's why we have them. Another piece of equipment we use on a regular basis is this New Holland 353 grinder mixer. We got a batch on here right now. We need to empty it into the feed train, and then our plan is to grind another batch if everything goes well. Look to this big New Holland. We have the Alias Chalmers D17 gas. Fun fact. Over yonder we have a D19 with a diesel in it, turbocharged. Only difference was the turbocharger on the 17 versus 19. Diesel engine is what I'm told. I've never seen D17 diesel. Anyway, that's kind of rambling. The D19 was the first turbocharged farm tractor too, I believe. Fun facts. Hopefully this thing starts. Gonna have to stop here. We got it running. Didn't film it. It was aggravated me. So now we're gonna attempt to fill that. There's a couple days worth of feed in there, but I'm gonna be busy the next couple days, so we're doing it today. be a dusty job. I didn't have that auger in the exact spot, but I didn't want to get down and move it, so I just shoveled it. So now, there's goodies in this bin. They're gonna go up the escalator into the hopper majigger. Get into that! And I don't know what's down there, because I never went down there while it was on. It gets ground and it gets put up in there. That's a short story. Idle it back up. We're okay. So that first bin had the goodies. This bin has the goods. Liquid gold, they say. Does us a lot of good. That's augering corn up here to the grinder. Grinder. Right underneath that shield, there's screens in there, and it's grinding it through that. Screens like that, only smaller. So at this point, we got everything set up, everything's running. We'll just wait until it gets full up to about there. That top window, shut her down, put her back in the shed, ready for next week. I like to grind a batch ahead of time. Because a couple of weeks ago, something broke on this grinder. But I had a week's feed ahead of me, so it wasn't a problem. If something breaks on it right now, I got a week's worth of feed in that feed train. So I don't mind letting it sit in the grinder for a week. So I'm trying to keep a week ahead of it, help prevent major delays and dilemmas. So that's what's up. Well, that about does it. We got one more chore of the day, and I'll show you what that is. This feed train. See, it's a train. Is really, really nice. I'm not sponsored by Feed Train, but you know, I'll be listening if they were interested. I'm trying to shoot a video. Them spoiled brats hear me in here and I think they're gonna get fed. So literally, if you've seen one bucket filled, you've seen 1,000. But you haven't seen one yet, so I'm gonna show you one. Now you know what it's like. One other piece of equipment that is pretty vital to this operation. Probably gets used more than literally anything else. It's our Polaris Ranger 900. We got the homemade bed extensions. We use this thing for all kinds of chores. From hauling feed to picking up net wrap to you name it. We're fixing to use it for one last chore. Suppose we'll go get some wood. We'll throw them in the basement. That was the last chore of the day. It's firewood. Firewood. Last week we went out and cut this and split it. Now we're gonna pack it to the house. So, unless I think of something else cool, I think that's it for today. So, thanks for tagging along, and we'll catch you in the next one. see. I gotta get my glove off and